Good morning. It is my honor to be here this morning, and let's roll. It is, Mahatma Gandhi said there's more to life than just increasing its speed. I saw a bumper sticker the other day and it said, "I'm not in your hurry." Sometimes we gotta slow down and let our soul catch up to us. Today is that day. Let's let our soul catch up to us. Hard for us to tell children how much we love them. I got a bunch of kids, took a bunch of kids, foster kids, some kids, adopted. When my first son was born, I used to wait up every night for his every breath. You know how babies cry? And then you have that one that goes, and my wife would go, "Get him! He's choking!" And I'm like, "Whoa." And the baby's going, "Ha ha ha, take me to my mother, fatso." The more kids I had, the less afraid I got. Check this line out. That's because fear is the little dark room where negatives are developed. That'll hit you later. That first kid, you're like, "Oh no, icky, don't give me that, don't eat that." Blah. Second kid, "Don't eat that, icky." Blah. Third kid, "Tastes good." You're on your fourth, "Go ahead, eat it." Did I get any better at being a dad? No, I just realized, blessed are the flexible, for they shall not get bent out of shape. We learned, because all of us went through, and so did our kids, early childhood development. Like when they're 5. What's the difference between a 5-year-old and a small puppy? After a while, the puppy stops whining. And then they're 8, and a bird can land on their lip the whole year. "You're not the boss of me. Quit putting in line." And then they're in middle school. "Whatever. Talk to the pommy, not the bum loser, loner, wannabe, whatever. No, duh, shut up. I don't think so. I read it on MySpace. Shut up. You don't even have Facebook. Shut up. You have technology attachment disorder." Yeah, I know. And then they're brilliant in high school. They say things like, "I'm tired of everybody telling me what to do. I'm gonna join the Marine Corps." "Oh yeah, nobody will tell you what to do there." "Would you like breakfast in bed, Private?" I like high school kids on the phone. You know, the girls are like, "I couldn't believe it. She was like texting. I just want to slap her." And high school boys on the phone. Oh, yeah. Oh, tight. Oh, sick. Hey. Who is this? And it's our job to focus them. They sit in front of, video games going, "I win!" And we're trying to get them to pay attention to us. They sit in front of the computer going, and our job is to focus them, get them to pay attention. And we're standing there, some of us teachers are standing at the board going, "The intransitive verb is..." And they're all going, "Faster!" And so it's important for us to slow down in our sobriety. Find a little thankful and tranquil. Find a little .com, got calm. Grateful, not hateful. Find a little fun and joy. Now, I grew up in my pop was a World War II guy. Many of you might have been raised by my dad. He had one of those $4 haircuts, $1 for each corner. Oh, you're laughing, but you remember my dad. You fill in the blanks for me. "As long as you live under, you'll do as, or you can. You want something to cry about? If everybody else jumped off the bridge, You remember this one? Do you want me to turn this car around right now? Do you want to drive home from here? Well, who could blame my pop? All he had for a role model was John Wayne. Who don't love the Duke? Greatest line ever delivered on education was delivered by John Wayne in the movie Sands of Iwo Jima. Duke looked at one of his young Marine recruits and he said, "Life is tough, but it's a lot tougher when you're stupid." Picture Duke, picture Duke now in the year 2014. We're gonna take the Hill Marines, but before we do, my inner Marine has something to share. Well, I was watching Oprah the other day, and I believe I have codependency issues with some in my platoon. And where does that all come? See, now here's the thing. I love you, and I'm going to tell you the truth because I'm in recovery myself. Long time. Here's what I learned. All the way back to the time of Shakespeare, Macbeth said, hear me now, always give sorrow words. Grief that does not speak whispers to the overfraught heart and bids it to break. You see, folks, tears that do not flow will make other organs weep inside of us. Oh, it's not an accident we're in the room today. Unaddressed grief turns to anger to rage, rage to violence. Violence has two directions, self-destructive. Hello. Give me a pill. Give me something to drink. Come on. What's the wisest thing we do is be in this room, with ourselves. Thinking about others too. Back to the time, was when I teach little kids, and I teach kids every day. I love them. They make me laugh and think. They're brilliant. And see, here's the thing, just like Doc was talking about, we got a thing going on where everybody thinks it's about the brain. And recovery is about the heart. Great teacher by the name of Helen Keller was asked, "Oh, Miss Keller, it must be hard for you to be blind." And she said, "Well, it would be if I had no vision." We see with our hearts. You know, our children are ending freshman year in the Ivy League schools in America with the highest levels of eating disorders, highest levels of binge drinking, highest levels of cutting, highest levels of antidepressant usage, and the highest levels of suicide attempts. But have I mentioned they've gotten really good at taking tests? We got to drop from our brain into our heart for ourselves, our kids, our families, our grandkids, our nieces, nephews, and the kids in the community. Live here, be here. The state of the higher power, the soul, the character, the spirit. That's where we live. That's what AA is all about. That's what recovery is all about. Redeeming yourself back to home. Finding some ways. Yeah. Now, if you get sad, if you get depressed, if you get overwhelmed, if the world seems a little bit slightly adrift and maybe negative, maybe we get cynical, maybe we get sarcastic, maybe we get a little toxic towards each other. Get on down with little kids. Bring you right up. I work with little kids every day. They make me laugh. I had a little kid up in Angels Camp. I go, "Hey, boys and girls, who takes care of the plants and flowers because they need fresh air and sunshine and love?" And this little 5-year-old goes, "No." I said, "Who said no?" "I did, because my dad grows trees in his closet." You couldn't write that. Couldn't make that up. They're so fun. And I had a little girl over in Oakland, and she slams the door. She goes, "I'm not talking to anybody in this classroom." I go, "Wow." I go, "That little girl was angry." And this little boy goes, "That little girl has always been an emotional porcupine." Where'd that come from? Come on. Start it up. Yeah. When I get mad, I'm like, I laugh. My little boy comes in one time at 3 in the morning. Daddy! And they always take your eye and go like that. What? I didn't mean to yell at you. Just tell me what you want. It is 3 a.m.
Dad, I never ever get any mail.
Starting tomorrow. Took my daughter down to the bank with me. I was like, and the lady 3 tellers up, there's the big, because 3-year-olds will blurt. Anything, say anything. All of a sudden, this lady 3 tellers up does the big sneeze. And the whole bank stops. And I go, Katie, what do you say to that lady? I wanted her to go, God bless you. She goes, cover your mouth. Pussy, cover your mouth with a vampire cape. Don't you watch Sesame Street? Smart, though. Brilliant. Especially, you name it. You talk about the heart, the human heart. Whoo. 5-year-olds, so brilliant, unfiltered, coming through from the higher power. What'd you learn today by what I said?
Don't let their bad day be your bad day, or your bad day be their bad day. Don't play angry tag with people.
Can you come to Washington, D.C. with me? We'll stop off in Sacramento on the way. Another one. What'd you learn today by what I said, sweetheart?
Don't let your sad turn to mad, because then it all gets bad.
Hello, recovery folks. Come strong now. Think about how the wisdom of kids. My oldest son went to Marin Catholic. He's 6'6", or the second one is 6'6", and he's got red hair, and he's a doctor now in Harlem delivering babies. He's a funny kid, but when he was a little boy, he'd make me so mad. I wanted to, he was kind of quiet and awkward, kind of, but he'd blurt in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. Out of nowhere, he'd just go. My wife and I'd be sleeping, you hear, Daddy! Daddy! What? Don't wake mom and dad up like that. It was like a horror movie. Dad is sleeping. You scared daddy. We'll drink a water. No. No water, because I have to go to the bathroom. Fluff your pillow, go back to sleep. I mean it. 5 minutes goes by, not a sound. Daddy! What? I go, I don't want to come up there and spank you. And my wife goes, you have never spanked him one time. My wife, 5 minutes goes by. Daddy! What now? When you come up to spank me, will you bring me a big glass of water? You can't. Fun though. Get around kids. Because we learn they teach us stuff. And they need you. Your redeemed self. They need you. They need you to hear them, to talk to them, to listen to them. Because here's what I can tell you. Hurt people hurt people. Hurting people hurt people. Some kids have so much pain at home they can't take any more at school. Some kids have so much pain at school they can't take any more at home or school. A little 8-year-old, I go, hey, who takes care of and has responsibility at home? 8-year-old. Mr. Mike, I have a responsibility when my dad gets drunk and he beats on mom, but I would take my baby brother and I hide the baby in the closet because my dad shook the baby before and he hurt him, sir. I said, Tay, I just sat down, buddy. I don't know if I was ready for all that, but you need to get that out right away, didn't you? Yes, sir. I said, well, you think you needed to tell me that right away, Tay? Mr. Mike, everybody needs to meet a kind stranger to tell their secrets to get help. Become those kind strangers. Listening is love. Pull yourself together. Become healer. Become that healer that you needed when you were a kid. All right? all go through this. My mom, I'll never forget, my mom was suffering through it, and I'd already been in recovery a long time before she was passing over. I hospiced her. I was a medic. And as a young medic in the military, I learned that pain shared is pain divided, but compassion shared is compassion multiplied. I don't have to pick on people, tease people. You don't have to blow somebody else's candle out to make sure yours shines brighter. Right? Here's my mom getting ready to pass away. I said, Mom, wished, Mom, you'd have quit drinking. When I was a little girl, my mom was getting picked on by my dad. And I was a little kid, and my mom was getting picked on, and I tried to stop him. I was the oldest of the 9 kids, and he picked me up and shook me and spit in my face, and he told me to never cry. That's why I had a hard time crying at your dad's funeral. I said, Mom, I'm 50 years old. Now 65, because she passed away a while. I said, did you ever tell that to anybody? Never. Was it the Irish Catholic shame? No. Mom, why did you 1913 to now hold that in? Because it never really bothered me, okay? Now you know. We shove stuff down and it concretizes. It calcifies. A cynic is somebody who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. Sarcasm comes from the Greek term, the tearing of flesh off somebody's spirit. It creates another victim. Telling you the truth, you can look it up on Google. Recent studies in Norway and Sweden have proven that cynicism leads to dementia. Of course, it only makes sense. We self-isolate, we push away, we self-isolate more. We trust less, we push away more. Then who are we with? Just us, all alone. Come on now. I is illness, we is wellness. We take care of each other. Team is, as Coach would tell you, Coach Doc would tell you, team is together, everyone, anyone matters. Sometimes the least is the most important to each and every one of us. I know because I work with the least every day. That little kid who was dyslexic. Many of the folks in recovery have learning differences. A little kid who's dyslexic, and he goes, hey, Mr. Mike, did you know that the words silent and listen have the same letters? I go, wow, L-I-S-T-E-N-S-I-L-E-N-T. Wow, how'd you know that? Oh, man, I misspell a lot. Everybody thinks I'm stupid, but I'm smart in another way. They laugh at me because I'm lidesic. Did you know that secure and rescue had the same letters? And did you know that heart and earth have the same letters? And did you know that earth without art is just eh? Some of the smartest people in the world have learning differences. I had learning differences growing up. I know this is hard for you to believe. I was with a ton of them yesterday at Robin Williams Memorial in the city. We all had many of the comedians. I learned, improvise, adapt, overcome, right? So all of a sudden, I don't know where that was at from. I had attention deficit disorder hyperactivity. But see, I learned to sit at George Lucas's Skywalker Ranch going, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. And the Wookiee, can you imagine that I had ADD? He goes, I'm on the board of directors of the Giants. The little kid goes, hey, Mr. Prichard, you know what ADD is? I have I go, Stephen, I got ADD. I know what it is. Hey, you know how many ADD people it takes to screw in a light bulb? Know how many? Hey, want to go to a Giants game? But here's the There's a book out called The Edison Gene by Dr. Thomas Hartman. Many ADD folks. Now, you may not know you have it. Get a checklist. Go to ADD. Yeah, I know. How funny is that moment? Go to ADDHD. Go to Thomas Hartman's book, The Edison Gene. In that book, there's a story of a young man. See if we know our history. In that book, and this is what I talk to kids about every day. Because if we start early, we don't wind up holding that all that pain in. We learn. Kids are smart, right? Help them get their pain out early. We all get wise. Aeschylus said, with every drop of pain on the human heart, wisdom grows, wisdom grows. So in the book, The Edison Gene, it said there's a young man who never had another day of education past fourth grade. But in his hometown, he created the first philosophical society, the first debating society. He first created the first lightning rods, first stoves, first eyewear, first fire department, first National Guard. His name was Dr. Benjamin Franklin. Had he been born now, he might have been marginalized, told he was not too smart. King George III would have been very happy. And the Queen would have been recently visiting her colonies. Wow. Lots of genius all around us. See it. Know it. And don't judge people. If you judge people, you never have time to learn to love them. Don't overstand. We're on frequency. Best ship to sail on? Friendship. That works with kindergartners. You know how I know that? Watch this. Hey, what's the best ship to sail on? What? Hey, buddy. What's the best ship to sail on? There you are. Now we're there. Sail on that ship. You want to know how to get in recovery? Get into the rooms with friends and people who see your heart. Back to the time of Dickens, he said, we come to know at the end of all time that it is not always those that we share our blood with that become our family, but those that we might give our blood for that become our family. These rooms, this room, will provide you with the relationships, the partnerships, the friendship, the scholarship, the leadership that you need. Stay strong and steady within your heart. Laugh a lot. Have some fun. Enjoy your lives. I don't laugh because I'm happy. I'm happy because I. Joy is a choice. Did a whole movie called The Happy Movie with Tommy Shadyac, who had a bad traumatic brain injury. He did the movie Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty, Ace Ventura 1 and 2, Patch Adams, Liar, Liar, Nutty Professor. And he found out the one thing makes a person happiest throughout their whole life. One word. Lights up the whole frontal precortex of the brain. Compassion. Loving, caring about, and helping others makes you happy. Money doesn't do it. Fame, fortune. We just buried my beloved little younger brother down the road, Robin Williams. He's worth hundreds of millions of bucks. But his depression took him. And I honor him today by being here for you. Because I can't think of anybody that would want me to be in this room more than him, to speak to you. He came, he saw it, and he listened, and he learned, and he loved. And he gave a world back. Saved a lot of people all over the world. Did as much as anybody can do. And we still lost him to the disease of his depression, sadness. So, what do we know? Compassion. How do we learn it? Simple. Well, I love special needs kids. I think special kids are, I think they're spies from God. I took a group of Special Olympics kids to San Quentin. There was a 6'8" convict getting ready to jump ball against our little Down syndrome guy. Referee gets ready to throw the ball up, and our little Down syndrome guy looks up at that great big convict, and he goes, "You're all mine, badass." I said, They said that was the first time that convict laughed in years. And I would call that a miracle. I was playing aggravation, a little marble and dice game with 3 Down syndrome children. I go, wait, you can't play without the dice. Where's the dice? And one of them goes, Mike, we will pretend we have a dice. I get a 5. He needed a 6. I go, Jedediah, why didn't you get a 6? I'm not a cheater. These folks are living thermometers of love. Living thermometers of love. And we hear our kids all the time, that retard, he's a retard, that's a retard, shut up, retard. Oh my God, your clothes are retard, you're retard, that's retard, you good, shut up, retard. Like they couldn't learn. And then you see their heartfelt, higher powered, God-given, brilliant wisdom. You ever seen a kid run and laugh? Boom, the gun goes off. I'm the coach at Special Olympics. I did this in a happy mood. She takes off running and laughing. You ever seen a kid run and laugh? She's going, yes! Woo! She gets all the way down to the finish line, 40 yards in front of everybody. She stops. And I was her coach. And I thought she didn't understand. I go, no, Annie, come here. You win the gold medal. No, coach, don't tell you. No, you will not stay there. Come here to me. Walk to me. You win the gold medal. Come across. No, coach, I'll stay here for friends. And she turned around and she put her hand out for her friend, who turned and put her hand out for her friend. And then all 6 kids held hands and came across the finish line together. She goes, woo! Together, we all can win. Together, we all can win. Somebody's going to use that word retard before the end of the day, though, as if we couldn't learn. But here's what we know. Here's what we know. Violence doesn't have a zip code. Ask Michael Jordan, Bill Cosby, Gerald Levin. Every one of them had $1 billion in the bank, and they lost a family member to an angry young person with a gun. Every one of them. It's a wolf. He'll find you. But how do we prevent it? We recover our souls. We find ourselves in beautiful chapels like this. We sit in quiet calm. Gotcalm.com. And we are at peace. Courage is just fear that has said its prayers. We find our hearts. We seek our soul and make it grow. We get our poop in a group. That'll hit you later. We love. We look into the eyes of our fellow alcoholic and drug addict and we say, I love you. And I want you well, and I know you want me well, and I want you well, and I know you want me well, and I want us well, and I want to help others. And when we do, old Doc was right. He had it right. Help each other. Makes you feel good. How do I know that? Well, I have to tell Doc I've been working in hospice. Take care of dying people. There's wisdom there. I go many places to find wisdom. One of them is where we have all these dying folks. And what are they teaching us on the way out? So I have to be extremely aware that I have a psychiatrist in the room with me, so it's going to be fun. But here's what I can tell you. The 5 regrets of dying people. Number 1, they wish they'd have worried less about what people thought of them. What people think of me is none of my business. Who cares? They don't know my heart. They don't know my journey. If you judge people, you'll never have time to learn to love them. Don't overstand. Now we're on frequency. Come on now. Where are we going to go with it all? People looking down their nose at you. Learn to be yourself. E. Cummings, the poet, said to be yourself in a whole world full of people trying desperately to make you be exactly like them is to fight the greatest battle that ever was or ever will be. Oscar Wilde said, be yourself, everyone else is taken. Some of you aren't laughing hard enough. Where are you going to go? Number 2, Wish they would have spent more time with family and friends. Imagine that. They're passing away, and they're regretting that they didn't get enough time with the people that they knew loved them the most. Wow. Wasn't that cool? That was like such a great moment. Such a symbolic moment. Reach for that water, because I'm already up here sweating like John Stewart at Dick Cheney's hunting lodge. And so, I love you, brother. I love you, love you, love you. So all of a sudden, find time for family and friends. Folks, where are you going to go? Spend some time. Put on the brakes. Pump them. Spend some time with people that love you. Robert Frost said, home is that place you go where they have to let you in. Some of you aren't laughing hard enough. Go see Mama. Call her up on the phone when you're done here. Go see your cousin, Bill. Go see Tommy. Go see Jerome. Go see your son. Call your daughter. Stop building them fences and start building those bridges. Come on home now. Come on. Forgive to live, live to forgive. Let it go. Why? That's the third thing. Anger. Wish they hadn't been so angry all the time. I'm in a room full of alcoholics and drug addicts. Can you imagine that? Talking about anger. Folks, nobody can get your goat unless you tell them where it's tied. Sometimes if you don't let go, you get dragged. You've been water skiing, right? Let go. Come up for air. You'll live. Anger past 30 seconds is ego. Anger will rust your pipes. It'll take your life. It'll kill you quicker than alcohol and drugs. We're just medicating that rage. A little kid up in Idaho made me laugh. Tell those guys not to be hater-taters and teach the kids to be hater-tots. Tell them not to be agitators. I was teaching anger management at the airport, and the lady said, a guy walked up to me, Mike, and goes, do you have any idea who I am at all? And she said, I just got on the loudspeaker, and I went, folks, there's a man over here who doesn't know who he is. If any of you recognize him, please come over. I am assuming that he's lost. Right? Wish they hadn't worked so hard. Wish they hadn't worked so hard. What are you working for? What are you going to get? No matter how rich and powerful you are, how important you get to be, on the day you die, the size of your funeral still pretty much depends on the weather that day. Some of you are definitely not laughing hard enough. At the end of the chess game, the pawn and the king and the queen and the pawn go back in the same box. The Egyptians thought they were taking it all with them. We can go down to the Rosicrucian Museum in San Jose, it's all there. It didn't go. They went, it stayed. We can go look at it if you want. I'll take you down. We'll get a bus. All go down to the Rosicrucian Museum. Right in the middle of San Jose. Money is like fire. It is an excellent servant. It is a horrible master. Hear me now. Spirit says to say it again. Money is like fire. It is an excellent servant. It is a horrible master. It looks wonderful on the barbecue pit, but blazing up Lake County, not so pretty. Same with money. Love of it, as it says, right here, is the root of all evil. Well, I love that, when you can love yourself. That's what I love about little kids. I learned from them. I said, do you think sometimes you're too hard on yourself?
I am, but I try not to take it personally.
I said, do you ever talk to yourself to encourage yourself?
Yeah, because at this point, at 11 years of age, I'm the only one that makes sense to me.
There's